Hi, all. Welcome. We've got people joining us now. Hello, welcome. Welcome, welcome. We've got several people that's joining us. We're gonna give it just another minute or two, let a few more people jump on. I know that we've got several that will be hopping on today. But welcome to our product release webinar that we do every month. And we've got some really cool stuff that we want to show off today. So we're going to give it just a moment. Feel free to throw in any questions or anything ahead of time if you have anything into the chat or to the Q&A. We'll try to keep an eye on that, but we'll give it just another minute or two. All righty. Well, we've got several people that's joining us today. Welcome. Welcome to our product release webinar. Super excited to have you here today. I'm joined by Brooklyn, our product extraordinaire. She's joined us today to kind of help walk us through some of these new features.
Hi, everyone.
We are going to, like I said, walk through a lot of new features today. Please be sure as we're walking through these new items, feel free to throw some items in the Q&A if you want to kind of look at it like a different way of using something or have any sort of questions about what we're talking about today. Feel free to throw those questions in there. We'll try to keep an eye on that. Regardless, we can answer any sort of questions towards the end. We had a fresh batch of features that just made it. So we were kind of like last minute talking about what features can we squeeze in today to show you because there's some really exciting stuff that has just been released. And so we wanted to show those as well. We'll see what all we can get through today while we're together. Okay, so um, just as a reminder, after our call today, we will send out the recording. So if you're not able to stay on the whole time, or maybe if you join late, which that means you wouldn't be here yet, then I'll send over that recording. You can also share that with your team or anybody else that may need that one. But if you see a feature that you're super excited about, please tell us. We pass that along to the people that really have the big impact in actually building these items, and that's really it goes a long way. So just let us know if there's something that you're excited about seeing. We will pass those things along. So we are going to start with Brooklyn. Brooklyn is going to go ahead and share her screen, and um, she's going to walk us through a few initial pieces.
Okay, it should be shared and
Perfect.
should
We
be
can see
set.
that.
So awesome.
Yep.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Hey everyone, excited to show off some new features like Shannon mentioned. We just got a lot of new updates just as of yesterday. So we're going to be kind of starting with some of those new updates that you may notice if you've been in Curate today or this morning. So a few things before we dive in. We are going to just start here on our main events dashboard. Some minor changes you might notice is that our date here, our date label, it used to say start date. So we've just simply updated that to be a little bit cleaner. We've gotten a lot of requests for that. So although minor, it has been updated across the app. So anywhere that used to say start date will just now be referred to as date. So that's here on your projects list, shopping list, reports, so forth. So just keep that in mind. Another exciting update based off a lot of requests that hopefully you guys are going to love is that we've moved the proposal expiration date into the event overview slide out. So you can actually access that here from this page. You can click this little icon and view down here that have the If we go back here to click this, we can then manage this as well. I can click here and then I can pick my date that I'd like to set for the expiration and then it will update. So very exciting. If you remember, recall if you used this before, it was kind of tucked away within the workroom. So we just made it a little more accessible. And then that way you can access it without actually having to go into the workroom as well if you like to just kind of check in on things while you're on this list view. So that's a big update that a lot of folks will probably be happy about.
That's
And
awesome.
then
Yeah.
another update here on the event list is that we had requests to just make things quicker, reduce clicks down with the filtering. So we now have the clear all button on your filter outside of the actual drop down menu. So you can click into your filter, you can apply whatever filter you'd like. So I can, apply some filters here. And then if I change my mind and I no longer want that filter, I just have to click clear all and it'll just reset for me. So I don't have to go back in and kind of clean that up within the drop down itself. So just some time saving here within this main event list page. So we're going to move it on over into the workroom to keep up with some of the other updates that we've made within the actual event. So I'm just going to click into an event that I have created here. So one feature update that we have is some inline editing on the recipe view for the line item details. So I'm going to click into my orders tab and I'm going to go to my recipe view. And you can now edit within inline here. Prior, it was in the slide out, but now you can change the name of your line item, the description, your quantity, your pricing. All of that can be done within the recipe view. So you can edit those key details, just streamline your editing experience, make it easier without having to open up a slide out or go back to the order view itself. So
Yeah. This was highly requested. Super
yeah.
exciting that this was implemented.
Yes, yeah, this one was highly requested, as Shannon said. So we're happy to get this one updated for you all to help speed up your proposal making process. Um,
Hmm.
Another one that was requested around, with line item descriptions itself is the copy and paste feature.
Oh,
If you're
yes.
coming to us from our Curate Classic, you might be familiar with this. So we have it updated in the new system here. And so what that's going to do is you're going to utilize the recipe down here. So if you have components in your recipe, you can still go and you can say copy recipe components. You'll just click that. And then you can go up to your description and you can either, right click and paste, or if you like to use shortcuts on your keyboard, that will work as well. But it's just going to paste those component names for you. This is a request for a lot of folks that like to kind of add to their description that all the different maybe like floral components or like recipe components in their description to just kind of be more transparent with their clients on the description of their line item. So that'll save you some time of having to copy and type that all out. Again, just click here to copy, and then you can paste in the description text. And then we also made it easier for you to delete the photos of the line item. So let me go to order view here, and I'm going to, let me open up our donut station. So if I have the line item images here, prior you'd have to kind of click down and take a few steps and confirm that you wanted to take the photo off. So we heard you, we wanted to make this easier for you, reduce down those clicks. So now when you hover over the photos, there's gonna be an X, and then all you have to do is simply delete the image by clicking the X, and you don't have to confirm as well. So if you want to rapid fire delete those off, you can. It won't slow you down. It's going to be real easy to remove those from your line items with just a simple click.
I love it.
And then let's see, we also have a few more here before we switch gears outside of the workroom. But another update that has been on our components table is when we go to components view, this is just an update to the sorting. So you can now, you'll see here by the category, it'll automatically sort your recipe components by the category. So it just makes it easier to view, organize at a glance. So you can see all my beverages, it's just alphabetical order here by category. So that just hopefully will streamline things. And then
Awesome.
let me go back to recipe view. Another update that we have is going to be regarding swapping the components. So an update to components here is that you can easily swap. So if I click in, if we don't want oat milk and I want to switch that out, you can see now that the oat milk, which is my current component, that is going to stay positioned at the top. So it's just makes it easier to reference, what is the component that I'm currently trying to switch out. It will now also allow you to search um, kind of we call it like a smart search. So prior, if you wanted to search a particular item, you almost had to search like the exact keyword. So if
Mhm.
you search something like tulips pink, it would not result in pink tulips. So we've updated that to be a smarter search. So you'll no longer need to
Yes.
type out the exact name. So if we type in just like a color, it will come across all the different components within your catalog that would have those keywords in it to make things easier. So I know that's not a good switch for oat milk, but it serves my example, so we'll stick with that. But yeah, that is just an update there within swapping the components and just making it easier, and then also improving that search within the swapping of the components too.
Yeah.
So some exciting updates to improve just speed, reduce down clicks within orders here around recipes, line items, components. We've also made an update to the actual portal tab to help just clean things up for you all with adding content, and then also the masonry grid. These are some requests that we received as well. So one here is when you go to add content, this little slide out, the add content slide out, used to remain open, and you'd have to manually go and click it to X out of it after you added the content. So we just improved that experience. We, reduced the click there. So if I want to add my masonry grid, I'm going to add this to my proposal. That little slide out just moves right out of my way for me. And then I can go down to the bottom and continue to edit my masonry grid as needed. And then an update here on the masonry grid is that with the color palette, we understand you might not want to use all the color options here. So we did update here to make it more of a visual alignment to center the colors if you're not using all six. So let me just pick a few colors here, and then you'll see that it's going to center it for me. So prior, it just kind of like would leave them over here with kind of looked like you didn't have them all. It was a little blank. So we wanted to improve that experience for your proposals to make sure they're looking the best that they can. So as you add them, regardless of how many that you want to choose and use within the actual masonry grid itself, it'll center it there and just cause better be better alignment. So yeah, we're excited about that one. I might have done that here on this, so you can see it with the photos as well of what that looks like. It looks a lot cleaner.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
awesome.
one last update before I switch it over to Shannon is that we separated some categories within the actual catalog for you all. So we just wanted to reduce any confusion as you organize your catalog. We have product categories and we have component categories across Curate. So this update is just being more organized, just allowing you to have more control over um, what category belongs to what. So I think I actually had these tabs open to show this off. So within the catalog, you'll see that within products there is a label now that's specifies that this is a product category. And then under components, you will have the same, but it is just going to showcase off that that is a component category. So these categories just help manage, workflows around your events with like reporting or markups. So we just want to make sure that it's clear of which category that you're applying at that time. So we've just uh, introduced better labeling on those. So you'll see component category within your components and again product categories under whatever product you might be building. So we hope that helps keep you more organized.
Yeah. The other thing here, Brooklyn, if you want to scroll down, oh, I guess this is on products. So if you want to go back to catalog and go ahead and click on that edit button right there. One of the newer features that we did just release was these notes down here. Was this ability to have specific notes showing on your components. So anything that you may need to insert on those, you can utilize those here. I see people, can sometimes save like where do you order this from or anything special about this item. You can save those there on those notes.
Yes, yeah, good call out. I
Yes.
forgot about that one. We have so many new features.
Yeah, we really do.
It's hard to keep up. But yes,
We
yeah, that
really
was
do.
a request, like Shannon said, just to help stay more organized, add some extra context around, maybe your components there. So that is an update that we have as well. So I will stop sharing here. And I will pass it over to Shannon. She'll
Okay.
continue on to show us some more features.
Okay. I feel like we are powering through these. Let me hop over. I'm going to share my screen. Alrighty. So in here, I'm actually going to cover more of like the back end pieces today. So the first one that we're going to jump down to is going to be like our templates tab down here. So if you came from Curate Classic, this is a brand new concept as far as how templates operate in the updated system. They are way more Lego-y. You can choose these different things to kind of implement into your quotes. So in here, some things that we have made changes to is now our email templates are actually in the templates tab. I always joke that our emails are older than our templates, so that's why they were never in our templates tab. But now they have caught up. They are with the times and they are now in our templates folder. So if you want to go in and make any sort of edits to your email templates, you can do that here, or you can add email templates up here. The templates are great. You can use those in a lot of different places. You would naturally plug those into some places, but there's a few places where you do have to come to the templates in order to make those or edit those. So this is where you would go for that. Your templates are going to be here. The other one is you're going to see that we now have a timeline template. I tried to come up with a great example today for this one, but I built a basic wedding timeline. Now, right now, these timelines are internal. Eventually, they are going to be customer facing as well. We have heard from many customers how important the timeline is when it comes to making sure that you're actually taking care of everything for the events. Everybody's on the same page when it comes to that event. What is the process? So, we are really focusing on trying to improve our timeline functionality. So one that we have right here is I built out this one that's a wedding timeline. You can see how you can just put approximations in here. Like I want this date to be 2 weeks before the date of event, 15 days before the date of event. You can put information in here, edit the information that shows personal notes. You can also throw locations on here as well if that's important. So in here, I've got my timeline as the way that it shows right now. If I hop back out to my templates, I'm going to throw this on an event actually. So I think it was this one that I set it up with. Let me make sure. No, here's this one. So I'm going to jump into this sample event right here. And you can see that we have timelines showing at the top here. That's the timelines that we're working on. So as I said, right now, this is just internal. Pretty soon, this will also be customer facing. So if I want to pull in a template, I'm going to click over here on my template. I'm going to choose the template that I want for this event, and it's going to populate right here. We've got all of those things. They're going to populate according to the rules that I put in there. If I had timing, the timing would show there. If I had addresses, addresses would show there, all of that. That's going to be here on our timelines, right? So that's how kind of timelines can operate. All of those can be here. The other one that I wanted to focus on or take a quick look at while I am here is actually, I'm going to go over here to this overview and look at a couple of things that's here. So one update on our orders section, you can see that you can have categories for your line items. These are really, this is what contributes to that calculated property as well as to reporting for those breakout for your reporting. So you can have categories on there. Now you can set a default category for the event. So see this category right here. If I want to choose florals, I'll choose florals for today. You can set that as your default category so that when you're adding new line items, it's going to automatically have that category. So if you're really focusing on rentals for an event, or if you're really focusing on F&B, food and beverage for an event, whatever you're really focusing on for that event, and you can implement that there so that whenever you pull in those new line items, it'll already have that category defaulted in there. Okay. And the other one that I wanted to look at specifically, it's a specific to branches. So with branches, what a branch is it's different locations possibly of the same umbrella business. So you can have branches in your account of multiple locations or multiple different stores or maybe multiple divisions within the same company. They can be connected into one account, but with separate branches to represent those different accounts. All right. So what we do here, this branch is Smells Like Home Catering and Events. We now have a token. If you're not using tokens, don't sleep on tokens. They're so good. They're so good for saving time, for plugging in information. A common place to use tokens is here in the description box. So I can throw the branch on my description right there. I'm going to go ahead and click save and it will display what is the branch that's going to be there. Now, the really nice part, at least for the description box, is whenever I hover over it, I can see it on my events page. Whenever I'm looking at it on my calendar view, I can see it. But whenever you have it linked to your Google Calendar and you're sending it to Google Calendar, you can also say what division is this, what type of event is this division here, and it'll show what is the branch that is handling this event if you're sending that over to your Google Calendar. But you can use it in a couple different ways if you're using it via emails, if you're using it in your contracts, whatever. You can use tokens right now to represent your branch. Now, the other one, we have a couple more things with tokens. I'm going to kind of skip over those right now, and I'm going to actually hop to our settings. Woo! I'm blowing and going through this, Brooklyn. I feel like we're going fast today. Okay, I'm going to jump over to our settings. Some super exciting news. If you go to your settings, I can go down here and I can go to the very bottom. This is a big deal. This is a big deal for things. People have wanted this for a long time. You now have this export button right here. So now, if you want to get your product catalog, get your component catalog, or get your rental catalog with current pricing and things that settings and things like that that you have on those, you can now download those yourselves within your own account. At this time, we don't have the ability to re-import that data, but that is a feature that is coming. So for now, utilize this one. You can use that to make updates and stuff to your catalog on one sheet, so you can have that as your starting place. There's a lot of different things that you can do with that export function, but This is a new one. Definitely use that. That's where you're going to find that. If you go to your settings, and then it's down here at the bottom where it says export, and you can get that CSV file of those recipe ingredients, those components, your products, things like that to show right there. All right. The other one that I'm going to show right here is this pipeline. So if you're not familiar, this is your pipeline. Whenever you are looking at your main event dashboard, you've got a pipeline that kind of it can track where you are with your events, how your events are going. You now have the ability to customize that pipeline and determine what is going to show on my event. So in here, I can see I've got here's the ones for my inquiries, here's the ones for my events. I may not really, these are for inquiries that are coming in through my forms. I may not really care for those to show on my pipeline to kind of see that. You can. But then you can also go in here and change things about these names. So determining what is actually showing. Maybe I also want to show like the lost pipeline, but instead of in production, I could say something like um, ready for ordering. Maybe sometimes I'll see that where people that is a phase for people is maybe I'll put like products ordered. So once it's booked, and then I move it to products ordered, and then I moved it to completed. You can update those here. I'm going to go ahead and click save, and then I'm going to hop right back over to events. Now, this is my new pipeline. I took off a couple of things. I changed the style of this one so that I can just clearly see how things are kind of moving through my pipeline. And I can also filter from here. So if I do my booked events, I can filter all of those ones right here. Now I can click this clear all button. So easy. Click that clear all button and go back to my main events list. Okay. So that's going to be your pipeline management. And then I've got one more that's in settings to show off. It is this automations tab. So previously, these items were located in the notifications tab. The notifications tab does still exist, but now it is more notifications compared to what it is now. So we've got this automations tab. It's just going to be some things that you can set up to happen in your account. I'm going to open up this proposal set so I can see what it looks like. You throw a name on here, choose if you want it on or off. If you need a description, you can do that. But you can choose from certain triggers what you want to happen. Certain events that can happen based off of that trigger. So right now, what we can set up is like if it's been moved to booked or whatever, um, and then you can also do if it's been sent or things like that. What happens with these triggers? What is the result of that one, and then you can choose where you want it to move to. So this is like the foundational items for what we're going to do for building out more triggers and actions that you can set up in your system. There's a lot of requests. A lot of people have requested that, hey, when this happens, I really want this to happen, or different things that people request. This is that foundational pathway to kind of getting there for saying, when this certain thing happens, I want this other thing to be triggered. So we've got that one initially here. I would definitely check that out, get the baseline. We'll see more triggers and actions kind of being built out there as we go. So that's going to be that one. Okay. Um, that was kind of fast and furious, Brooklyn. Oh my goodness. I don't think that we have any questions. Any questions or anything that we can answer for anybody? I'm not seeing any just yet that have kind of come through. Any questions about any of those features that we've talked about today? There's actually more features, but we don't we want to save a little bit for us a little bit later so that we can better prepare to kind of show them off because they were so recently released. But any questions or anything like that that we can answer for anybody? All right. Um, Brooklyn, we did have a space for Brooklyn to kind of talk through a few upcoming features that we have. Um, Anything that you want to kind of hit on, Brooklyn? A few things that we should be seeing maybe coming to pass sometime over the next month so people can keep an eye out for those.
Sure. Yeah, it looks like someone sent in a a
Oh,
Q&A,
perfect.
and it kind of goes along with, what's to come, I guess. And so
Yes.
I'll do a two-in-one here on answering the question and talking about, future releases. And so the question here is, are you able to print the proposal without pricing? That is something that we are exploring as a future update is being able to um, share the proposal without pricing. And then hopefully as well with that would be the print option. But I do know that's something that we're exploring is the option to be able to share that portal link without pricing. That's been a request from several folks as well, just because depending on who you want to share the proposal with, your portal, um, might not want to include pricing. It might not be the actual client itself. It might be a vendor, might be, a relative of the client or so forth. And so sometimes it does make sense to have a little bit more privacy there around any pricing. So we are working towards that. We'll keep you updated as soon as it's available. But that is something that's on our radar to hopefully, be released here shortly in the near future. And so, yeah, that's definitely one that we have our eye on, as well as a few others. So, no particular order in how I'm mentioning these, but some other features that we have, we're looking at some future updates is that ability to al- also have um, drag and drop with the proposal images. That's something that we're continuing to work on with that ability. If you recall from last time that we were together, we covered a new inquiry question type that was the
Mm,
option to add images. So if you go to create a form now, you can add a question type that allows your clients to upload an image file. And so that's really helpful with kind of getting better take on their vision and kind of what they're expecting as far as their event goes. And so we are working towards that of being able to view those images within the workroom and then just simply dragging and dropping them within your image, kind of drop zones there. So that's something that we're continuing on right now that hopefully will be released soon as well. And then some other updates would be just like enhancements to like prints, possibly. We know we've gotten some feedback on kind of how
yeah.
prints are working with event prints, some of the line breaks there of how they're printing. So we're exploring some improvements to that area too. And
Yeah,
then
that's a great question. Yeah.
something that will also be coming here shortly is a new feature that would be new not only to you know Curate Classic users, but also in our new system. It's a completely new territory for us, but we're really excited about it. It's called bookable spaces. So it's something for if you're, do catering in-house, or maybe you offer different kind of like rental rooms or spaces. We're calling them bookable spaces. But just kind of it takes on a little bit of a role of like a rental, but it's kind of its own unique thing too. So that is something that we have our eye on as an exciting feature that's coming soon.
That is exciting. So many people ask about that. Oh my goodness. I can't wait.
Yeah, there we always have something up our sleeves. So, yeah, just keep an
Yes,
eye out
it's true.
of what we're going to be releasing.
Yep.
We're always excited to share with you all. As Shannon mentioned earlier, like a lot of these requests, if not all, have been coming from your all's feedback. So we really
Yeah.
appreciate the time and effort that you all put into, relaying your thoughts and questions to us, because that is something that, we spend a lot of time, reviewing feedback, trying to figure out how we can improve the system to make it work best for you all,
Yeah.
and save you time, and just improve the workflows to make life easier so that you can focus on the events and spend less time in front of the computer.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So, oh, stop sharing. I just wanted to point out one thing as well. So here, you can see. if I've got my tab open, my chat box that's open, you do have access to this news tab over here. So you can kind of see whenever we're talking about new items that were updated, things that were updated, if you're trying to look at for like releases and stuff like that. Be sure to check this out if it's got anything on there. Um, it could be like a video or something like that that we've put on there so that you can kind of see the differences, things that we have been updated in uh, in the system or whatever. All of those are going to be there, so be sure to check and keep an eye on that one. In addition, I did want to make an announcement. Over the past little while, we've had a really big push for updating these like little pieces that people have been asking for in the system. So we have split off into teams here at Curate and we tackled these items, but we have to rank them. We have to have a winning team for who created the best compilation of items. So you're going to see in the next day or two, we're going to be sending something out, getting your vote, getting your opinion about what we should be saying is the winner, who should be winning this event. We're going to be sending that out the next day or two. So just keep an eye out for that in chat. All right. Any questions or anything before we hop off here? Not so much? Okay. Well, we will send out, just remember if you need any help, be sure to reach out to us via chat right here. We've got this set up right here. You can always, we'll send over the link for product board where you can submit any sort of requests or anything like that. And we will send us out this recording for if you need to go back to it and reference it again. All righty. Well, you guys have a great week and we're excited to see you next month.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.